Hey, welcome to Worship Tutorials. I'm Bradford. Thanks for checking out this video, this new patch. We typically do a single amp patch and feature a new amp and make patches around it, and that's great and all, but often people ask us what we would do, like what kind of pairings we would do. Ever since I heard the Super 100, I've been figuring out ways to pair it with other amps, and when I stumbled upon this combination of this and the Bloomfield, I was like, we got to do this for people. So it's a different approach. The Super 100 on its own is not really like a Plexi in terms of like how it, like the dynamics are way broader is what I should say. It's like a JTM45 on steroids. It doesn't break up as fast, and so that's good when you're trying to do things like we do when you run wet effects into the front and you're trying to use drive pedals to get your tone. This amp does sound awesome on its own, being driven on its own, and you can get this patch for this. Well, you can get the Super 100 patch on its own. Same with the Bloomfield. Those are separate amps. But what I did was brought the Super 100 down, brought them into the same patch. I've been using them for Tonex a lot, and I really like that combo. It sounds very good. We bring this up often. You know, we'll say something like, oh, this amp like has the characteristics of this type when it's clean, and then this way when it's driven. This one is like, the cleans are really nice and full and punchy, and they got a little bit of hair on them when you dig in. So not quite Fendery. Fendery tends to be equated to like scooped. This though, nice and full. When you drive it, it's like, hey, that almost kind of reminds me of like how a Marshall sounds, but it's not as thick and saturated. And if that's something you would like, you're definitely going to like this. Here is just the bridge pickup. We're on Fractal. Very cool. Neck pickup. So you got like just over edge of breakup. If I brought the Super 100 down a little too much, it kind of lost some of its like beef. So it's important to kind of keep it, have a little bit. So you have one amp a little cleaner than the other. That's cool. Sounds pretty ripping. Some ambient goodness. So the nature of this, the whole point is that you get the 2 amps. So that means we're not going to be able to do it for FM3. We're not going to be able to do it to Pod Go. We're making this available for Helix, Axe-FX III, FM9, and Quad Cortex. So you get the patches with these amps in there. And yeah, they're different than when you got them on their own. You could, in fact, just if you had these already and you want to, you could drag them in together, kind of concoct your own thing. This is kind of how we do things as well. For Tonex users, I want to say this. We actually have a plan, and actually some other units, but more specifically, the idea started with Tonex. We want to offer our favorite combos together. So we're going to do some combos, and you'll get like 4 combos, and you can use those 8 or so, depending on which ones. You can use those as you please. So we're going to make that as an offering coming up. We're not quite there yet, but Tonex, hold on. So I want to say this also. When I was making my signature patch, debated utilizing these amps as the combo, but opted not to because it's not the one I use the most. The combo I prefer to use most is my HC30, DC30 with my Chimera. And I was like, I don't feel like that'd be true to me if I use these amps as my combo because I use those other ones. But this combo, the Super 100 and the Bloomfield, are 2 that I've been using a lot lately. And while this isn't a signature patch, it's still like my next favorite combo. It's creeping up to being my favorite, but I just haven't used it as long and it felt weird. So my signature patch is going to have like my effects dialed in a little bit differently the way I do it. Not like drastically, but some things I like to do a little bit differently. So that'll be coming very soon, but we hope you enjoy this combo. It's a lot of fun. If you already have these amps, like I said, just give them a shot yourself. We do make tweaks to kind of get these to sit a little bit better in how I've been using them. Typically in Tonex is where I started using them before I put them in the patch. But thanks so much. Make sure you subscribe. It's free for you. It helps us out a ton. Watching these videos is also helpful. Buying patches is also very helpful. Duh. But we appreciate you guys so much. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.